Hello folks, and welcome to Telling Tinder Tales, the podcast where the search for love often goes wrong, dates get weird, and the only thing we can rely on is that we'll have a good laugh about it. With me, Chris O'Neill.
And me, Thomasin Lockwood. Every week our guests call in from all around the world and we hear their wildest, weirdest and occasionally even wholesome dating stories.
So I'm based in Ireland, a green but not naive nation.
And I'm in London, the place to be to get hot and steamy because aircons don't exist.
Right. Now let's jump into this week's tales. Thomasin, who have we got calling in this week?
I'm really excited about our lineup this week. First of all, we have Lewis. Hi, Lewis.
Hi, my name's Lewis. I'm from Derbyshire and it is also incredibly warm over here.
And next we have Juliet. Juliet, where are you calling in from? And tell us very little about yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Juliet and I'm from Exeter down in Devon and it's very fun to be here.
Excellent.
Lovely, very fun to have you. And finally we have Jimmy.
Hello, I'm Jimmy, I'm 40 and I'm from London.
What's your name? Where'd you come from?
That's me.
Jimmy also has a pancake in the oven, and that's not a euphemism. He's
No, that isn't.
Oh, true.
To be fair, it's out of the oven now, and I'm now sort of munching it during this this recording.
This is an ASMR recording, actually. At this point.
Right. We shall have culinary reporting toward the end. Okay, so Lewis, would you like to tell us your story, please?
Oh, I would love to. So I'd love to share with you the story of my first date to York with my girlfriend of 3 years, going very strong, very happy. We took the train to York and we'd never been before, so we really just went around. The first thing we went to was this bakery, which you'll only find in Yorkshire. And wow, it was amazing. It was cheaper than Greg's.
Ooh.
But it was fancier than a Pret. And that's my range of bakeries, really. So that's as far as that will go. But it was amazing. It was lovely food. And we went on to do some other things throughout the day. We went to Dick Turpin's grave,
Cool.
which Dick Turpin, as you know from Horrible Histories or Regular History, he's got a big just stone tombstone like flat on the floor and you can read it. So we were just looking at this gravestone and this dog toy flew in front of it, quickly followed by this Rottweiler mid-air. It was a complete blur of an animal. It was just a very strange moment on our day out. And so we carried on walking through York, and it was very hot, so we just ended up taking our jackets off. And we thought we were hungry, we'll go back to this bakery. And again, we got some more goods, sausage roll, probably a cupcake or two. And then we went on to do a bit more sightseeing. And we did some charity shopping and tried on some new bits. And then we went back to this bakery before we left. And this will always stick in my mind because the gentleman who'd been serving us all day double took us while he was getting some more pizza slices out and went, "We've seen you before. Have you got changed to then come back here and get more baked goods?" And we were shocked. We didn't even realise what we'd done. We'd Scooby-Dooed them. So we were just laughing about that all the way home, thinking, "Oh my God, they must think we're the greediest guts in all of York." So yeah, that was a fantastic date. My love for her grew so much stronger after that.
Oh, that's a very
lovely.
wholesome start, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's particularly brave on a first date to go charity shopping. I mean, I think that gives an insight into people that, you know, it's open and honest.
Yeah, we learned quite soon on that we do love a good charity shop. We love a good thrift and a good find.
So I totally I love the phrase Scooby-Dooed. If you were actually going to intentionally Scooby-Doo a bakery, what outfits would you choose?
Oh, I mean it'd be full time period appropriate. We'd go as Victorian.
Oh, Dick Turpin.
Yeah, we'd fully go for it.
Actually, for the sake of global listeners, could you just explain very briefly who Dick Turpin is, just for context?
I wish I'd looked him up a bit more now.
So
Dick Turpin.
You don't actually know, do you? You just heard he was a famous person. You went to the grave site. You didn't even read the text, thanks to some overexcited dog.
We didn't even get a picture with him.
You had nothing on your York trip, Lewis.
Didn't he rob from the rich and give to the poor? Is that
No.
no?
That's Robin
that's not Dick
Hood.
Turpin. That's Robin Hood.
That's Nottingham.
From what Horrible History's taught me, Dick Turpin was a man who robbed carriages
Ah, yes.
Cool. Dick.
on horseback.
He was a highwayman.
And yes, a
Highwayman. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand and deliver your money or your life. That's what he'd say, which I don't know if you'd say that at the bakery.
I have one question. You mentioned the dog, and in particular the Rottweiler. Was there an owner with the Rottweiler?
Thankfully there was, and it was a very nice Rottweiler, but when you look in at a gravestone and there's nothing around you, and then suddenly a dog toy, and then in quick succession a Rottweiler hits this dog toy and forgets to use its legs and just kind of rolls with the momentum out of view. It's just, you kind of etch those details into your brain forever. It was so strange.
Juliet, do you have any questions here?
I'm curious to know I've got 2 questions actually. Number 1, have you returned to said bakery? And number 2, if you return to said bakery, I feel like you have to raise the bar next time. So I'm thinking it's going to have to be something like you're going to have to get engaged at the bakery, or you're going to have your anniversary at the bakery. Like, what's the next step?
To answer your first question, yes, absolutely, 1,000%. We've been there so many times since. I think I think there's a good chance we've actually gone to York for the sole purpose of going to that bakery.
Rightly so.
And for the second question, I mean, I think it would make a good wedding venue. I mean, the catering's sorted,
Not
and we'd
even
already
the catering.
go in costumes.
You want it at the bakery. How big is this bakery?
It's not too big, but quite frankly, if we wouldn't have many people around for the wedding, because that means there wouldn't be enough food for us to enjoy. I mean, we went there 3 times that day, you've got to remember. So it'd be a small gathering.
I'm going to York next week. I'm gonna ask for the name of this bakery.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Thomas Baker. I think it's a chain of them in York and Yorkshire area, but they're nowhere else. So I think that's because the food is very fresh and not shipped up and down the country.
I'm starting to think you work for Thomas Baker, Lewis.
I wish. I'd love a discount.
I would just point out that this podcast is open to sponsorship, and if Thomas Baker wants to sponsor us and go global, they should consider getting in contact.
Hang on, it can't be Thomas Baker. It's got to be Thomas the Baker. It's surely his surname's not Baker.
No, it's Thomas Baker.
What? No.
Yeah.
Thomas Baker the Baker.
Yeah, I wish we met him. Maybe we did, and we didn't know. But
good point. It could have been Scooby Doo to you, and you wouldn't have known then, would you? It could have been the evil janitor.
I'm so confused by what people's concept of a bakery is. There's an evil janitor. It's a wedding venue.
Thanks for that, Lewis. It's been an interesting and well built into the marketing of strategy of the bakery. Juliet, have you a story for us?
I do, and Lewis has supplied a very wholesome story, whereas mine, I thought I would share my most awkward date, so
Great.
A bit of a contrast. So I hope that you all get second-hand embarrassment from this. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So, it was a couple years ago. I matched with a girl on Tinder, that whole, swiperoo. And we were talking, and we decided that we were going to meet for some drinks. So she chose the venue. I had not been here before, but I could see, it was quite a nice place. I was going to shave my legs like it was that big a deal. Anyway, I'm just about to leave, and then she messages me and she says, "Oh, do you mind actually if we changed it and actually we went to Wetherspoons instead?" Now, I love a spoons, don't get me wrong, but this was quite a big difference. But I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to complain, because if I say no, then it's going to be awkward, and I don't know how I feel about that. So I just said, yeah, fine, everything's fine. And off I trot on my way. I said, I'm nearly there. I'm about 5 minutes away. And she said, cool. When you get here, we are in the back room, not I.
Oh.
We. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Just play it cool. Just maybe it's a typo. I was second guessing. I was like, did she forget to tell me she was polyamorous? Like, what's going on here? I get there, and there are 2 gentlemen on the table.
Ugh.
Not my cup of tea, but it turns out one was her housemate and one was his boyfriend. So unknowingly, I'm on a double date, which, we love a double date. Very cute.
Do
but
we?
a first date as a double date when you don't know it's going to be a double date, and now you've got an audience when you're trying to do all the kind of polite first questions, like not my vibe. And so we're sat on the same side, so I'm opposite the guys and she sat next to me. And did she even give me eye contact? Did she even talk to me? Did she fuck? I felt like a fly on the wall. But anyway, I was just like, you know what? I got a drink, love a spoons. It's all good. So I make my polite, I'm going to go now. And they say, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we're going to wrap up too. So, turns out that my way home is the same way as them. Of course it is. And then the heavens open and it starts absolutely chucking it down with rain. Like chucking it down so much that I feel like I've pissed myself. Like my jeans are absolutely soaked. And he says, why don't you just come in for a cup of tea, just for 5 minutes, like nothing weird, just no strings attached. Why don't you just come in for a bit while the rain like clears off? And I'm like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, sure. I go through, I sit down, and the girl, she connects her phone to the speaker in their front room, and blasting out at high volume is Defying Gravity from Wicked the musical.
No, it's not.
I love a musical. I'm afraid it gets worse, but I love a musical. But I did not then expect the girl that had barely spoken to me all night to run into her bedroom and come out with a hat and a cape on and run around the front room singing along to it. I didn't know whether to cry. I didn't know whether to laugh. I didn't know whether to melt into the floor. But the whole thing was weird, to put it politely. And then I made my very polite goodbyes and never saw her again until a month later, give or take. I went to a Pilates class. I thought it was a normal Pilates class with like your planks and your crunches and all that jazz. Turned out it was a reformers Pilates class where you've got like, it looks like a rowing machine crossed with a leather sofa that you sort of get strapped into. Kind of giving like weird sex dungeon vibes. There was chandeliers. The whole thing was very bizarre. And on the like contraption next to me was said girl. So we're both like strapped into this thing like together, like please help me. And then at the end of the session, because it was a free taster, they're like, oh thanks babes, can we all get a photo together? And she ran out there like quicker than flies on shit. And I've never seen her since. So that was the most awkward date that I've been on.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what the most awkward bit is? It's the guy standing outside his front door saying there's nothing weird. Come in, nothing weird. It's not the weirdest fucking bit.
He knows exactly what his housemate's about to do.
Yeah.
I have an important question, Juliet. You were very wet.
Go for it.
When you arrived at the apartment. Yes, you were soaked to the skin. Were you sitting there in wet clothes through the musical interlude?
I was, and the whole thing was so traumatic, I probably peed myself a bit anyway, but I think it was disguised.
You know what though? You have had a very optimistic. I class myself as a bit of a hopeless romantic. I think in this case, you veered too much on the hopeless of it, because I feel like every suggestion you're like, that's fine. I feel like even if you peed yourself, you would have been like, yeah, that's fine. Who doesn't love a good pee? My question, because for anyone who doesn't know, Defying Gravity, it's the ending of Act 1 and the end of the first movie of Wicked. It's very belty, it's very loud, it's very emotional, and it's a duet. Did she sing both parts, or was she waiting for you to be one of the parts?
No, she took full control. She was both parts. It was giving, the enthusiasm was like 2010 X Factor audition kind of era. Like, it was very intense.
When she finished, did she look at you for like an applause? Like, and did she direct the whole song to you, or was she like cheating out to her imaginary audience?
No, it kind of just felt like, I honestly felt like I wasn't there, or that she wasn't acknowledging my existence at all. But her housemate did say, I think that's enough now. I think it was a regular occurrence.
Oh my God.
I don't know why he didn't warn me.
Oh my God. Why did, yeah.
I will ask one other question. Have you been back to that spoon since?
Yeah, I must have done. Yeah, it's not going to stop me ordering a revolting luminescent picture anytime soon.
That's what we like to hear.
It's good to see it hasn't inhibited your inner alcoholic. Good.
It takes a lot, doesn't it? It's got to be really bad to give up on spoons. Like
It
life
does.
has got to have got really bad to have given up on spoons.
I think poor Juliet has been victimised sufficiently at this stage.
Oh my gosh, thank you for that.
Willingly.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very much,
much.
You're very welcome.
I think it's time for our final guest. Jimmy, whenever you're ready, we'd love to hear your tale.
It's not a particularly long tale, but it is over 2 dates. So I had the first date with this guy, met him on Hinge, actually seemed quite normal. In the community that I am in, there's a lot of weirdos. And I'm not in some sort of gated community. I mean, the gay community. It's a very open community. To meet somebody on Hinge and them to be relatively normal is quite refreshing. Boy, was I wrong. So date number 1 went really well. Thought, actually, I will probably see him again. Went on date number 2, in a pub garden, blah, 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 laugh, laugh, laugh. I said something funny, obviously, and he laughed and was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for you to meet my boyfriend.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what? And he was like, oh, didn't you read my profile? And I thought, I didn't read the bit where you got a fucking boyfriend, mate. And that was it. Ended. We had a small discussion on whether it was transparent or whether that was something I was looking for. It isn't. And we went our separate ways. And I haven't been on Hinge since. That was probably maybe a year ago. It's not a great story. It's not a hilarious story, but it's wacky.
It's an interesting story.
It's up there.
We've got questions.
Yeah, we got questions.
Hey, Lewis, me too, mate.
My first question is, I suppose, this was the second date. So he didn't mention this on the first date.
No, it was not mentioned. But I don't say, some people like to say, oh, how long have you been single for? I don't really like talking about the question. It's not a history lesson. I don't really need to get into what you've done before in the past. I kind of think, actually, the future might be a better place to look. What are you looking for, maybe? But I didn't ask that. Lesson learned. So no, it wasn't discussed. He lived with a housemate. It turns out the housemate was his husband. But,
I thought you were going to say, turns out the housemate sings Defying Gravity at their dates. And this is...
Yeah, well, you sat opposite me in spoons. I remember this.
I'll be getting a date number 3 out of that, I tell you. I wouldn't be wasting that. Yeah, it's a bit like when somebody says, oh, I live with a married couple, and actually they live with their parents. Just be transparent. I'd be really happy with that, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you've ever kind of blagged a bit on a date of like, oh, yeah, I've got this, and maybe it's like not quite the truth, or avoided something?
I mean, I suppose I spent, 15 years of my life lying about my sexuality. But I suppose at some point, yes, I was lying to a poor girl about that at some point.
That's quite a big lead to bury.
It's a fucking big lead to bury. I tell you, it's hard to bury as well. So possibly that, but that feels a little bit more darker than anything else.
Can I ask what the feeling was like on like maybe like the first few dates going with men compared to like how it felt going on dates with women? Like, was there a big change in feeling or ease?
I was really anxious about how do I greet you? Because with a girl, you just kind of give them a cuddle or a kiss on the lips, or kiss on the lips, fucking hell, straight in, give us a snog. There you go, babe. I didn't mean kiss on the lips. I meant a kiss on the cheek or something, just sort of like, but actually, what do you do with a guy? And I remember asking my friend, what do I do? And he was just like, stop being weird, just give him a hug or just say hi. Like,
shake his hand.
I was sort of overthinking. I didn't want to shake my hand. Like, yeah, you're right. Like it was some sort of business meeting. Welcome. Can I see the agenda for the day? But
you got any boyfriends?
Yeah, you got
agenda item 1.
Have you buried any leads? The difference was, and I suppose it carries on actually, is I have to manage where we're going to go. So I'd probably go to Soho because kind of everyone's gay and it doesn't really matter if you snog someone in the street. But if you go to, a Spoons, actually it kind of does still affect society in that way. So that was probably the slight bit that's maybe slightly different. But hey, it's not wrong. I'm going to Soho. You sing Defying Gravity a lot in there, so there's no.
Yeah, they really do.
I'm straight down there. I'm not straight when I'm in Soho. I'm going straight down to Soho.
Did he have a husband or a boyfriend?
I can't quite remember. I think it was a partner.
Okay.
I think it was a partner. I don't believe it to be a husband, but I think it was a partner. Yes.
Juliet, have you any questions for Jimmy?
Do you think he changed his profile in between date 1 and date 2?
No, I don't. No. He was very open about that when we got to the point. And he I think also he put it on me that I didn't know rather than him not telling me. It was kind of my fault. Oh, you didn't check my profile. You're like, fuck, I didn't read it that far.
Did he have any sort of, photos on his profile kind of cuddled up with his bestie?
I wonder if maybe it was a photo of him and somebody else, but then you can just think it's a friend. Like, I've got photos of me and my friends. I didn't think that, and I don't think at any point I was shagging them. There was just me. I got a photo of me and mates.
And this guy, was he looking for like a sort of threesome vibe, or was he looking for like another serious relationship to add?
I believe that he was looking for another relationship, another boyfriend, which you'd call that. What do you call that?
I think
Juliet?
that's
I think you said it earlier.
Yeah.
Polyamorous.
As opposed to open. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and also, when you just like, mate, I don't want one boyfriend, let alone two. Like, the whole thought of you is such hard work. Like, I don't know if I invested in this.
I do still think he buried the lead there a little bit, because he could have been like, "Oh, do you have any questions?" Or like, do you have any
like an interview?
Yeah.
Tell us about the last husband you had. Yeah.
That's what's difficult about dating app dates. I only went on the apps for the first time last year, and it is. I really tried intentionally to not go in with the whole job interview mindset, but it is hard.
Well, I was chatting to some guy slipped into my DMs, and I never get that, and he was really handsome, and I was like, fucking, I don't believe it. The gods are on my side. And then he was like, oh, I don't really want to chat on text, let's go for a drink. I was like, fine. We booked a date. Let's say this was on the Monday, and on the Thursday, we were meeting on the Thursday, and actually on the Friday, he said, sorry, I don't want to meet. And I was like, okay, why is that? And then he was like, we haven't really chatted. I was like, because he told me he didn't want it in that case. Make your fucking mind up.
Oh dear, you can't win.
So yeah, you can't win. Everyone's a. There's a really good quote about online dating. The odds are good, but the goods are fucking odd.
That's pretty accurate.
Well, on that note,
I think that closes out our Tinder Tales rather interestingly. I think it's time we said goodbye, really. If you want to catch up with Telling Tinder Tales, we're at live comedy festivals around the country over the next year or two. You can catch up with us on the socials on Telling Tinder Tales.
Thank you very, very much to our guests today. Absolutely amazing stories. Thank you very much for you listening. If you liked us, whatever platform you're listening to us on, give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, and please give us a review. It really makes a difference to an up-and-coming podcast like us. And if you give us a 5-star review, I will take you to Thomas Baker. If you give us a 1-star review, I will sing Defying Gravity at you. But to our guests, just before we head off, are there any final comments, musings, or plugs? We'll start with you, Lewis.
As far as plugs, you can catch me anywhere in Derbyshire or Nottinghamshire.
And Juliet?
I've not got anything in particular to plug. However, as a fellow podcast producer, it's been really nice to be on the other side of the mic today. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. No, she's been the absolute professional. And finally, to, juxtapose that, Jimmy.
No offence at all taken here. And finally, my full-time job is I run a game show experience for team building and staff socials. We come to you and play Family Fortune, Spin the Wheel, Higher and Lower, Carrot in a Box, The Price is Right. It's a 90-minute game show extravaganza hosted by a handsome homosexual in a gold sparkly jacket, which just so happens to be me. It's www.showtimelondon.co.uk, and baby, I'm yours.
It's absolutely brilliant. I've seen the golden jacket in person. It is something to behold. It really is fantastic work.
Okay, folks, would we like to say goodbye?
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Telling Tinder Tales is hosted and produced by me, Chris O'Neill, and Thomasin Lockwood. Produced and edited by Lucy Regan, with music by Quincas Moreira. It's a Jesters Comedy Dublin production and is no way affiliated with or endorsed by Tinder. If you have a story to tell, please get in touch. Details are in the show notes. And if you like us, instead of swiping right, follow us on Instagram and or TikTok at Telling Tinder Tales.